pueden vernos y escucharnos.
Perfecto. Ya voy a hacer una mini introducción en español a todos los que se están conectando. No sé si nos ven bien. Quiero mover esto. Me tapan sus caritas, si muevo esto. Ahí está, perfecto. Ya, bueno, bienvenidos a todos. Voy a hacer una mini introducción en español y posteriormente vamos a seguir en inglés. Bueno, gracias a todos los que se conectaron. Hoy día es un día muy importante, es nuestro primer webinar de Imagine Global 2025. Acá estamos el equipo de Imagine y de Start2. Así que les vamos a contar todo el programa. Va a ser una introducción también en inglés y posteriormente toda la presentación va a ser en inglés. Si tienen cualquier duda en español, la pueden escribir en el chat en español, se la podemos responder en español, pero como saben, uno de los requisitos importantes de este programa es que ustedes sean fluidos en inglés, por eso el webinar va a ser en inglés. ¿Ya? Yo hablo español, soy chilena, por lo tanto mi inglés es súper entendible. Tenemos a Sabrina, que es de Start2, es nuestra partner estratégica, representante de Start2 Estados Unidos, y ella es nativa en inglés, así que ahí hay un desafío importante para todos. Así que, bueno, ahora vamos a hacer el cambio de switch de idioma, contarles también que este webinar está siendo grabado, para que después lo puedan volver a revisar, lo puedan compartir a quienes les pueda ser de valor. ¿Me confirman, por favor, que estén todos viendo la pantalla? ¿Ven mi pantalla que estoy compartiendo?
Sí, está perfecto, Nico.
¿Se ve? Ya. So, hello everyone, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Today is the first Imagine Global webinar of 2025. We are so excited to have you here. Today we will have this session in English, but as I said before, if you are a Spanish speaker, don't worry. We will, you are more than welcome here, and we will be happy to answer all your questions in Spanish too. At the end of the presentation, we will have time for your questions, so don't worry. We have an hour to share, and you will have time to know the whole program. To start, I briefly introducing ourselves and giving a bit context of about the session today. I'm Nicole Knus, Acceleration Officer at Imagine, and I will be co-hosting this webinar. And I'm very pleased to introduce Sabrina Rue Sussman, a program manager of Start2 in the United States, who is joining us today as our strategic partner. Then Sabrina will have time also to introduce Start2 and herself. So before we dive into the content, I would like to quickly introduce Imagine Global.
Nico, no sé si pasaste la slide, pero no, aún estamos viéndolo. Ah, perdón.
Sí, todavía no. So before we dive into the content, I would like to quickly introduce Imagine Global. Now we will move. Yeah. So Imagine Global is an international acceleration program developed in collaboration with Start2 and supported by Corfo, designed to drive the immersion of growth and scale stage tech company into the market of United States, San Francisco, and New York, and Southeast Asia, Singapore, and Thailand. This specific program is focused on two key markets: United States, as I say, San Francisco and New York, and Southeast Asia, Singapore, and Thailand. So now we are going to focus specifically on the US market. So as you know, this program has already 2 years. This is the second year. Last year it was our first version. So now we would like to share with you some highlights of our first year. So as you can see, last year we had 147 open application and 64 closed, 15 startups supported and accelerated, 20% with female co-founders. We have more than 50 partners involved in our outreach and scouting during the call, and 13 startups in on-site immersion. The 2 markets are the same, California and New York City. And also, we have some successful stories. So I will tell you a little bit about this. Here you can see some successful stories from the startups and they participated in the last year edition. As you can see, some of them successfully raised funding as Tolib, while others formalized the launch of their operation in United States as Miss Bernie and SX Index. Also, NUPAP, they have their operation in United States. So we are incredibly proud of their achievement and super excited to continue supporting this new generation of entrepreneurs. So now we will have a look of a program overview. The objective is an international acceleration program to scale Chilean tech companies in the USA with a strategic immersion and focus on sustainable growth. The target. This program is for startup leaders who are in the growth stage and working in areas like future of work, including HR, education technology, the silver economic, digital tool, artificial intelligence and enterprise software, and the future of finance, like e-commerce support and payment, blockchains, and others. This program is for those who want to scale their solution and grow their business in a competitive market like the United States. As we already say, the destinations are San Francisco and New York City. So now we will have a quick look about the program overview. As you see, we have 4 main stages. The first one is an acceleration program that lasts from July to September and will be a mix between online and on-site, the program. Then we have a pre-immersion that will be on September, and that will be online. And the third stage will be an immersion. So then you will have 10 days to go to the market. We will start in New York City, and then we will continue in San Francisco. And after the immersion in United States, we will have a post-immersion that will be on November, and this will be online. So a little bit of how is our methodology. So we have 5 points. Our methodology have 5 key components. So the first one is assessment. We evaluate each startup potential to go international. The second one is support and mentoring. We personalize follow-up from Imagine and expert mentors. The third one are workshops, 4 sessions of topics like growth, fundraising, and global strategy. The number 4 is they will be Q&A lives with experts from key market. We call them Ask Me Anything. And the last one are connection. We connect you with investors, companies, key partners in Latin America, and of course, in your key markets. So to summarize, the program includes an online pre-immersion phase before traveling, followed by a market immersion in New York City and San Francisco. So this structure allows you as a startup to prepare in advance and then make the most of the experience in these two important innovation hubs in the world. So finally, before to giving the floor to Sabrina, I would like to highlight that this event take place as part of one of the most important events in the world, which is San Francisco Tech Week. This event will be from 6th to 12th of October. You are free to participate whatever you want, but in our agenda, you will have some guidance to go with us, of course, and help you to connect with your personal interest. So now you can go ahead, Sabrina.
Great. Thank you so much. I will just jump right in there. And if I start talking too fast, please tell me to shut up in the chat. Anyways, so let's start with, if you can move to the next slide. Nico, if you can just, there we go, perfect, thank you. So let's start with who Start2 is. We are a global innovation hub, helping startups grow from idea to international success. We worked with thousands of startups since 2008 now, all across Europe, the Americas, Asia, the Middle East, and now Latin America. Our ecosystem brings together founders, investors, governments, partners to scale innovation globally. Next slide, please. In terms of traction, our organization has worked with over 1,600 startups and 10 unicorns, including Celonis and Flixbus are some big names. And maybe you're familiar with Flixbus. They are now active in all over Latin America. So look out for them. And next slide. Thank you. And aside from startups, we also work with big companies and governments such as Allianz and BMW, Enterprise Singapore, and BARDA, which is the U.S. Authority on Advanced Biomedical Research. So we have a pretty big presence across many different continents by now. And as you can see, one of our biggest strengths is really our network, and we've been building this out, as I mentioned, since 2008. So let's take a closer look at what that means. Our mentors. Our mentors are really the keystone of our program. And we connect our companies with over 500 mentors that we have in our network just here in the US alone. Our mentors consist of CEOs, VPs, and strategic operators who've all built and scaled companies themselves. We pluck them from all industries to really ensure a wide range of functional experience and vertical expertise. So just about everything you can think of, we tend to have a mentor that represents that area and that specific knowledge domain. But our network and our mentors, it's really just one part of our approach to helping companies scale globally. We also connect companies with investors in our network. We are pretty plugged into the venture and angel communities in New York and San Francisco, as you can see, and we will work with each of you individually to make sure that you are investor ready and before we set up those intros. And one of Start2 Group's flagship programs is German Accelerator. So as you can see, we run programs with many different countries, Chile included, but we also have a regular reoccurring program that we run with Germany. And this is how we got our start. And we are very, very close with the BMBK. And we essentially work with top German companies for around 3 to 5 months at a time to help them successfully scale and enter the US market. And that was how we started. And now we have expanded ourselves and are working with companies from all over the world to help them enter the US. So what is our approach to helping companies be successful in the US? Well, we have a 4-phase approach when it comes to helping startups enter new markets. We cover market discovery and internationalization, all the way up to building your first team, fundraising, and executing your go-to-market strategies. So it starts very, very general, and it gets very, very specific and tactical. Success stories. As you can see, this is 2 success stories from our most recent 2024 portfolio. Octamind here on the left just closed their 4.8 million Series A in the US, and Parloa just closed a 66 billion Series B. They're a bit of an outlier, but we're proud of them and we like to brag. So why should Chilean startups be looking at the US in the first place? Let's go over that. Well, the US, as I'm sure you know, is the world's biggest and most dynamic tech market. It has unmatched access to customers, capital, and talent. And a lot of this productivity is really tied to its relatively low barrier of entry. We have streamlined regulations and a $22 trillion economy. That tends to attract a lot of talent and great minds. So let's zoom in into 2 of the top US hubs, New York and San Francisco. New York, as I'm sure you all know, is a global business powerhouse and a pillar of international finance. It's ideal for enterprise sales in sectors like fintech, health tech, anything services related and advertising. It's super diverse and very close proximity to Fortune 500s. All this really makes it perfect for international founders, and a lot of international founders choose New York for this purpose, at least to set up shop. And now moving on to Silicon Valley. So as I said, New York, center of global capital. Silicon Valley, however, is the center and the beating heart of innovation. It's home to deep tech, AI, world-class universities, and top venture capital. So if you're building something that is truly groundbreaking and you want to be where all the new trends in technology happen, then San Francisco is the place to be. Now, these cities aren't just hotspots. They are also shaping the future of technology. So let's take a look at some of the major trends that your program specifically is focusing on. First is the future of work. In the future of work, remote and hybrid models are redefining how companies will be operating. We're seeing here a major surge in collaboration tools, freelance platforms, anything around content creation and AI-driven HR. Upskilling has also become a core need as well. So these are important new gaps that we're seeing get filled. In terms of finance trends, in the future of finance, digital payments and embedded finance are transforming how people and businesses manage their money. So as we're seeing our financial services sector grow and become more complex, new security solutions are needed as well. So these are just some open gaps and open questions that we're waiting and curious to see how they get filled. So how does Start2 and Chile and Imagine Global plug into all this? Let's walk through the individual components of the program and give you some more insight. Here is a breakdown of the types of activities you can expect with us. The main categories here are workshops, mentoring, a ton of B2B connections, ecosystem events, and of course, access to Start2 resources and our office space in the US. Great. So let's go. So the program there'll be 2 phases of the program, a virtual and an in-person component. For the virtual portion, that will begin in September, and we will kick things off with deep dives into your companies. There will be a few workshops, some B2B matching, but really this is where we're just starting to lay the foundation, align your goals, refine your pitch, get you set up for success when you are here in person. So a lot of it will be preparatory. Great. And then we will all meet in person in New York in October. The first week of October, we'll spend 3 days in New York with a pretty packed schedule filled with workshops, mentor sessions, more B2B matching, and various ecosystem and networking events in the city. The focus here will really be on business development. So we'll be trying to get you in front of potential partners and clients as much as possible. And from there, we will head west to Silicon Valley. The Silicon Valley leg will build on what we started in New York. You'll continue to meet investors, have workshops, joint mentor sessions, visit some top tech campuses, and we will culminate we'll culminate the week with you pitching at a Star 2 pitch night. With the added bonus that was mentioned earlier, which is we are also planning this trip around one of the biggest tech events of the year. So SF Tech Week. SF Tech Week will take place that second week in October. It's a massive tech conference. They like to say it's distributed, but that word annoys me. So I'm going to say that the conference is spread all over the city. There will be over 2,000 events and up to 75,000 attendees. So this is really a great chance to network with global founders, meet top VCs, gain visibility into one of the most influential tech scenes in the world. And as was mentioned earlier, Talib was here with us last year, and they met actually investors and were able to raise money by participating in the event and really doing a great job and being super proactive and meeting as many people as they could. So they're a great success story for us, and hopefully we'll see that happen again this year.
All right. Thank you, Sabrina. You don't have more slides, right?
Correct. All you.
Ya, súper. En español voy a hacer solamente una aclaración por si tienen dudas. Star2 es nuestro partner estratégico. Todo lo que presentó Sabrina ahora es parte del programa que ustedes vivirían de Imagine Global. Es un programa integrado que combina la experiencia en Chile con la experiencia en ambos mercados, en Estados Unidos, en Nueva York y San Francisco. Y como decía Sabrina, el evento San Francisco Tech Week literalmente paraliza la ciudad o moviliza a la ciudad desde donde ustedes lo quieran ver. Es uno de los eventos más grandes del mundo. Están en paralelo ocurriendo 2.000 eventos. Y todo lo que presentó es un poco la experiencia que vivirían ustedes si son seleccionados en este programa en Estados Unidos. ¿Ya? Entonces ahora vamos a continuar, volvemos en inglés y después vamos a tener Sí, deja las dudas, todas las dudas pueden irlas dejando escrito acá en el chat. Vamos a tener espacio para responder en español y en inglés al final y continuamos ahora con la última parte de la presentación. So we have now one of the important part of this presentation is pricing. So you guys will have 2 stages. The first stage is acceleration and pre-immersion. So 15 selected startup for the acceleration and pre-immersion stage will access to this program with a co-financing of Corfo that cover 55%. That it means that you will pay $4,500. El costo original del programa son $10,000. Con el cofinanciamiento de Corfo ustedes van a poder pagar solamente $4,500. Esa es la etapa número 1. And then in the second stage, the immersion, only 13 startups of the 15 will participate to the immersion stage with 100% of a grant for the selected startup. If you are not in the 13 selected startup, it means if you are the two that they were not selected, you still can join and with additional co-payment of 4,000 US dollar. Acá es importante mencionar que solamente 13 de las 15 startups van a poder participar de la inversión con una beca del 100%. Solamente 13 de las 15. Por lo tanto, si las otras 2 startups que no fueron seleccionadas quieren participar, pueden participar pagando un cofinanciamiento de $4,000. Important to say, guys, the travel and accommodation expenses are not included. So how can you apply to Imagine Global? It's pretty easy. You can go to our website, grupoimagine.com, Imagine Global, and you can find the form. You can apply there, and you will find all the information for this application. Also, in the basis, you can see all the criteria for this program. Here you can see the weight and all the criteria. You will see in our landing page every detail for this application. So what are the next steps? Are coming more webinars, so you will have time to answer all your questions. The application is open until May 4, and in June, you will access to the results. Here, you can scan the QR code, and you will get directly to the form. So we will have this slide for a minute in case you want to scan this QR code. And now, guys, it's open for all your questions. Here is Charlotte also, is part of our team. She can also help us answering all your questions. So Patricio has a question. We will read his question. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Rodrigo Piña, saludos. Patricio Díaz. Our startup is not live yet. MVP developed in progress. Can we apply to the program? Charlotte, you can help us with this question?
Yes, of course. Thank you for everyone to be here. As Nico said, thank you, Sarah, for your presentation. Thank you, Nico. Everything was so clear, so thank you for that. And Patricio, thank you for your question too. So as Nico said and explained during the presentation, the program is focused on startup with like en un cierto etapa de crecimiento. But I think you can go just apply anyway. And if we see that your products, your focus and everything like that is a match with our program, we can just like consider your application. But as Nico said, the focus of the program remains, o sea, está dirigido a empresas que tienen como un foco igual como, o sea, que están en etapa de crecimiento un poquito avanzado y que están considerando como exportarse a Estados Unidos. Pero ahora, si tú ves que tu solución es algo que puede como despegar bien en Estados Unidos, súper venido de postular. Como no ponemos ninguna restricción, pero bueno, para que tengas en la mente como básicamente el foco del programa, que como para startups que tengan como este foco quizá un poquito más desarrollado. Pero postura igual, porque obviamente estamos abiertos a todo.
Thank you, Charlotte. Thank you, Patricio. Yes, you should apply anyway. We will consider your application. One of the important criteria is to make fit with our focus, the future of work and the future of finance. So we invite you to check our landing page, and you will find all the detail of the application, and then you can see the information in detail. Thank you for your question. Catalina, David, Rosa, I don't know if you guys have any question. Thank you. Super. I don't know, Sabrina, if you would like to add something else. Something about Silicon Valley, New York City, to get more excited to our Chilean startups?
Yeah, well, yes, because there's so much there that is not just work. First of all, New York is one of my favorite cities on the planet. So if you've never been there, this is definitely the way to do it. It's amazing, incredible energy. It's beautiful, it's unique, really cool architecture, really cool history. And then when you're in San Francisco, you really just can't help but be inspired. You're always looking at the ocean, everybody, you can just tell that everybody is, trying to do something big and bold and important. So I think just being in both these places, it's, something that you will learn a lot from. You'll have a really great experience, and hopefully you'll meet some really new, interesting people as well. I know that the companies last year had really great things to say, and walked away meeting a ton of people and building out their network that they were then able to tap into later on. So I highly encourage you all to consider this.
Thank you. Rosa Tamayo, she has a question. Her question is, do you need
and
experience?
Food, also food, incredible food in both places, especially New York.
Cool. Rosa say, do you need experience in international market? I will say no. That is a program for this. If you haven't had any experience before, it's not a problem. As you see in the program, we have different states, so we will go in from less to more during the program, so you will have the time to get involved with the market, in this case with the US market. So if you don't have experience so far in any international market, don't worry. This is the opportunity for you to have it. I don't know if Charlotte or Sabrina would like to add something else related to this question.
No, I think that if you have no experience in an international market, then this is the right program for you, because that's our purpose for existing, is to give you that experience.
Rosa also asked, do you need any level of sales in Chile? That is a great question, Rosa. Thank you for this question. Actually, it's important for you guys to have any sales, but we are not at the moment looking for exact month of sales. It's important that you are already at least in the Chilean market selling. So yeah, it's important to to be in this stage, but we don't have a minimum amount of sales.
Yes, as Nico said, the most important for us is to see that you guys have the funds and the resources to travel and to just like do a kind of good safe landing in the US. You have to have this fund, but we don't put like a kind of a precise number for the sales or something like that. It's not a metric, a restriction metric is you just have to just like have the fund to be able to travel and to then like build a kind of a soft landing in the US, a presence in the US with clients with like no fit there, so this kind of thing, but it's not a restriction.
Thank you. Thank you, Charlotte, for this. Catalina Gallego say it's a problem if there are a competitors of our solution in USA. For example, here in Chile, we have a big differentiation, but I know there are some other solutions, but I haven't investigated it in profundidad. Yeah, that is a good question. Maybe Sabrina can help us with this question. She's asking if what happened if her solution has competitors in United States.
Well,
it's hard not to have competitors.
I would say if you don't have a competitor, then what are you doing? Then you don't have something real. No, I think that's good, and that's a natural part of the process. And something that we really stress and work on is how do you think about, how do you differentiate from your competitor? How do you build your competitor moat here and your competitive moat here in the US? So I think that is absolutely a part of the process. That's a question that every high potential startup needs to face. And like I said, if you don't have a competitor, then what are you really doing? It's natural. I hope all of you have competitors, and our goal is to figure out how you stand out.
Super, thank you. We have 1 more minute. If someone else have any question, as we say, guys, this will be the first webinar. Then, of course, we will have more webinars. So ask anything you want. I will share my screen with my email in case you have any other question. I don't know if let me see. Let me go to my email. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes, yeah. I'm going there. Here. So the first stage is to go to this website, grupoimagine.com, Imagine Global. I will leave here the QR. So everything is there in our landing page. You can apply there. But if you have any question that you can't find there, you can always write me an email. You can see here my email. And you can write me and I will be happy to help you for whatever you need. But we made this website pretty easy with all the information. So we hope that you can find everything there. But as we say, if you have a specific question, you always can write me directly. So yeah, we are on time, guys. Well, once again, thank you so much for your time, for being connected at this time. Sabrina, I don't know what time is in New York City now. 9?
No, it's early. It's almost 4 p.m. Much later for you.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. Yeah, you are earlier than us. You still have job to do. So, well, thank you so much, everyone. We will keep in touch. We hope to see you in the application, Catalina, David, Patricio, Rosa. We are so happy to have you here, guys. This is the first webinar of Imagine Global 2025. So we are so happy to have you here. Thank you, Sabrina. We will see you soon in United States. So Patricio, Catalina, David, Rosa, hope to see you in United States too. Thank you, guys. This webinar will be available for you if you want to see it again. And thank you so much. Have a nice afternoon. Thank you, guys. See you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye. See you. Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you, Charlotte. Thank you, Maca. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Sabrina, Franco, Nico, Maca, everyone.
Bye. Thank you.